Okay, good morning. My name is Michael Shimer, and I am a student at Florida Southern College in the EDU 1107 Foundations of Education 1 class. And I am presenting material now on a professional resources assignment about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences learning theory. So as a professional resources assignment, what this is looking for is that we look at what are the kind of resources that are out there for teachers in the classroom. So some of these were shared or as part of the assignment or were shared as potential resources. So I'm going to start with some of those. This one here at 13.org is Concept to Classroom about tapping into multiple intelligence, as you can see on the screen. Um, and then we're just going to scroll down a little bit and look at this. What is the theory of multiple intelligences? So, kind of like it sounds, that there are more than one intelligence, intellectual intelligence being the one that most people think of, and that's usually associated with the mathematical logical intelligence, which is number 2 here on the screen. But what Howard Gardner said was an intelligence is the ability to solve problems or to create products that are valued within one or more cultural settings. So he claims that all human beings have multiple intelligences. These multiple intelligences can be nurtured and strengthened or ignored and weakened. And he believes that each individual has some aspect of these 9 intelligences. So what are those 9? Verbal, linguistic, mathematical, logical, musical, visual, spatial, bodily, kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalist, and existential. So we could listen to one of the other resources I have here. I'm going to share all these resources in the video description below, all the links to these. And one of them, you could look at is this page right here. This is a YouTube video of Howard Gardner and it's listening to him actually speak. So, here we'll look at that a little bit here.
We have schools because we hope that someday when children have left schools that they will still be able to use what it is that they've learned. And there is now a massive amount of evidence from all realms of science that unless individuals take a very active role in what it is that they're studying, unless they learn to ask questions, to do things hands-on, to essentially recreate things in their own mind and then transform them as is needed, the ideas just disappear. The student may have a good grade on the exam. We may think that he or she is learning, but a year or two later, there's nothing left.
This is what I usually refer to as the mental flush, which usually occurs, I think, either immediately after the class ends or over the long summer break. So, yeah, mental flush. And as a teacher, I've seen that in my own students and, of course, in my own self. So, that's Howard Gardner. Again, this is about resources. So I'll share this video link and it's a good one. But I actually like this one, the style of this. This is 8 Intelligences, Theory of Multiple Intelligences Explained. And it's from Practical Psychology. So let's watch a little bit of this one.
So, when you think of intelligence, you normally think of the one intelligence that most people refer to, and that is intellectual intelligence. And Howard Gardner says there are actually multiple types of intelligence, and I'm going to go through them with this video. Now, the first is called logical mathematical intelligence, and this is basically what you think of when you think of intellectual intelligence. This would be stuff like logic, or if you're good at taking tests, you'll probably have pretty high logical mathematical intelligence. This also has to do a lot with critical thinking and making and reading graphs, as well as organization. If you like to organize your stuff and keep it very organized and are good at organizing it, then you probably have very high logical mathematical intelligence. Now the second one is called verbal linguistic, and if you have high verbal linguistic intelligence, you are probably good at saying that word. You are good at poems, you are good at rhyming words, finding words that rhyme, you are good at reading and writing, and you're good at learning other languages. You learn them pretty quickly compared to other people. And you're probably great at turning a little tiny story into a huge, fascinating story that can enthrall an entire room. The third is interpersonal. And interpersonal intelligence would be like understanding other people's emotions, understanding what the social etiquette and norms are of this situation. You have to be able to be good at reception to other people's moods and what motivates them. If you are a business administrator and you're good at motivating someone, you probably have pretty high interpersonal intelligence. If you're a good leader or just a manager in general, and you can coordinate work with other people, you are probably really intelligent in this interpersonal field. The fourth is body kinesthetic, which means you are good at handling and maneuvering your own body. You can handle objects skillfully and basically move them around however you want them to, as well as your body. People that are very intelligent in the body kinesthetic field are dancers, actors, soldiers, and even many sports athletes. The fifth is
So this is definitely a resource, and I guess in general, what I'm showing here is that YouTube has resources. So as a video that's been uploaded to YouTube, I intend to show this to my students when we go over that during that first week, and we talk about their multiple intelligences. But we still are only talking about what it is, which is great, if you're in a class about learning theory. But how to use it in our classrooms is really what I'm interested in here too. So next one I'm going to go to is, let's see, here are some assessments this one was shared by as part of the resources for this assignment here from this class, EDU 1107. And this is a great little interactive one where you can answer these questions, and then it's going to tell you which is your strongest and find your strengths here. Here's another one, and this one was actually shared as part of a resource package that I picked up from a site called Teachers Pay Teachers. So if you're unfamiliar with that, I'm going to share that with you, and that is a very helpful site once you're in the classroom. If you're unaware, I'm about to show you something that's probably the highlight of this presentation will be about. But anyhow, this requires the students, this is like a handout, so each of these sections relate to an intelligence. It doesn't tell them which it is up front. They just check and put a number 1 or leave it blank, and then they add it up. And then you go through, and then at the end here, you bring that forward, all the numbers from the sections, and multiply that times 10. So let's say you had 3 in section 1, you would have 30 over here. And then you plot this, there the students do. And then down here, now determine your intelligence profile. Now you could give this to the students, or you could do it for them yourself. And this is a key component it talks about on this, especially when you're surveying your students at the beginning of the year, is you want to tell them that everyone has all 9 of these to some degree, of course. And you can strengthen any of those. And it's an inventory, it's a snapshot in time, meaning here right now. And it's meant to empower you to recognize your strengths and weaknesses, but not label you. Oh, you're this kind of person. That's not what it's designed to do. All right. So anyhow, this is where I found, so just resources. Oh, this is a different high school. I have no idea where Volta Grande is, but I found this, and that took me to the YouTube link right here of the video we just watched. Of course, we just watched those. So let's go to the Teachers Pay Teachers. Maybe it's because a little Freudian slip there. I'm a troops teachers teacher. So anyhow, let's go to Teachers Pay Teachers. And I don't have anything in my cart right now, but we're going to go to, all right, so here's the landing page for teacherspayteachers.com. And wow, look at all this stuff you can find, and you can select your grade levels and things, but let's just do a random search. Multiple intelligences. Look at this. And you got packets of things you can buy here. Now I teach high school, so let's just say I want to limit this to these grades. It's going to sort this, filter this as I go. All right, no prep multiple intelligence is a lesson. This is 8 kinds of smart. I thought there were 9. All right. Then we go here. Here's a poster. survey, graph, and teacher's guide. Survey. All right, but well, I went ahead and picked up a few of these already, so I'm just going to show you some of those. They come down in zip files and you open them up, but I have them both open. And this one is interesting. I thought about doing this with my grandson who's um, going into the third grade. Um, and it's kind of targeted for that. It's actually a fourth grade lesson, but it goes through and shows them what kind of, or it breaks down these intelligences for them. You would show the kids this just like I would, um, or you would do this in class. And then this one's interactive. It's kind of neat because as you go through this little story, do you think the reason why Larry doesn't swim as fast as Spencer is because he isn't smart? And then I guess I have to actually create this, make this live. So let's see. We'll go through. How would you feel if Larry and everyone else could swim so easily, but it was difficult for you? It is not that Larry isn't smart. It is that he is smart in a different way. He can fly better than any of them. Sometimes people think they are only okay. So yeah, it's a great little presentation. And this one was an interactive one. Then let's see one that I selected for my high school here. High school classes again. It starts out here with multiple intelligences. It has some posters and surveys. Goes over all of them, so you show the students that, and it breaks it down. Tells them about the history. Okay, so it goes through each of the intelligences. All right. Now there was a hidden slide, I believe. Let me see if I can find that again. Teacher's note. So let's see. Once you are finished going over the multiple intelligences PowerPoint, you can print the slides and you can print it out as posters. I love burning my school's ink, so maybe I'll do that and have them around the classroom. And then give them the assessment, and there are several of those assessments. This one I use is available from Walter McKenzie, so I believe that's the other one I was showing you already. And go over with each student and have them fill out the next worksheet, which is your strength. So let's look at that. All right, so they list their top three. What do they think their top three intelligence strengths are? All right. So that is that. Let's go back over here. All right. Well, hey, that is all I'm going to cover on this, on multiple intelligences. It is an interesting theory, and it's a great week one classroom activity. So you kind of get to know your students and let them get to know themselves. I'm going to be interested to see how many of them have ever done that before. So yeah, that's it on multiple intelligences. And thanks for watching. And again, I will share all of the links to these different resources that I highlighted here in the note section or comment or that here on YouTube. All right, thanks, and have a great day.